America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
All right, and hopefully people are coming over to the stream. We're going to continue on with the second month here in the Field of Dreams Baseball League. We're in the first week of May, and we're highlighting every single game or every single team here in the second week to make sure everybody gets to see the team they want to play. Bernie started us off a couple hours ago at noon, and I am going to pick this up and continue on with a couple of games here, and then I'll pass this off, and hopefully Mike or Steve or Beatles or somebody will get on this evening and continue with some more games. And hopefully by tomorrow night, we'll have all of the teams that we want to highlight done and finish out the week by Friday and on to the next one. So here we go. We're going to start off. We're going to go ahead and play the Florence at Chicago game. Hopefully, I know David said he may get back in time to watch this. I don't know if he's here now or not, but we're going to go ahead and get this thing played. All right, and that's supposed to do it. So let's get on. All right, we're here at Fulton County Stadium. We're going to watch Florence here at Chicago. Earl Wilson will take the mound for Florence. He's already got 4 starts, and he's one of 3. I'm sorry, 1-3. His ERA is an 8.06. This is his first start against Chicago. For Chicago, we'll see Tim Hudson on the mound. He's got 3 starts. He's 1-1 with an ERA of 6.35. This is his first start against Florence. It's 83 degrees. Wind speed is 6 miles per hour in from left field. Let's play some ball. All right, let's take a look at the lineup for Florence. Batting off as the lead batter, Barry Larkin. Ralph Garr will be batting second. Batting third, Hal Morris. In the cleanup spot, left fielder Adam Dunn. Batting fifth, Jim Pearsall. Ken Griffey Jr. will be batting sixth. Sal Bando will be batting seventh. In the eighth spot, Brandon Phillips. And Andy Semenuk will be batting ninth. For the Chicago defense, we're going to see Tommy Davis in left field. Ed Roush in center field. I know that guy. Ken Griffey in right field. I know that guy as well. Both of them came from my team at some time or other. Orlando Cepeda at first. Dick McAuliffe at second. Rico Petrocelli will be the shortstop. Whitey Kurowski playing third. Johnny Romano will be behind the plate catching tonight, and he'll be catching from Tim Hudson. Tim Hudson, with his has already started 3 games. He's got 11 and a third innings pitched, 17 hits, 8 earned runs. One of those was a home run, 3 walks, 8 strikes, and that 6.35 ERA. Here we go. Barry Larkin will be the first one to take on, and excuse me, I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to change. I apologize. I don't like to do this in the middle of the lineup, but that catcher is sitting right on top of the batters, and it makes it a little hard to see the name. So we're going to adjust just a bit. And again, I apologize. I don't like to do that in the middle of the lineup, but that looks a lot better. All right. So here we go. So Barry Larkin will lead off for Florence. He's only got a 179 ERA, 179 average. We'll get this going, guys. It's the first game I'm doing today. 179 average through April into the early part of May. And here we go. From Hudson, 0-2 pitch. McAuliffe will have to come in to get that one. He throws over to Cepeda for the first out. The second batter, Ralph Garr. He's got a 152 average. So the averages are a little low here for Florence for their leadoff batters. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Garr. And this is a liner to Kurowski, who makes a fantastic grab to make the second out there at third base. And that brings up Hal Morris, who's batting .265 so far this season. With 2 outs, this is going to get into right center field for a base hit. So Morris with a hit with 2 outs brings up Adam Dunn. Adam Dunn with a .278 average has knocked in 7 RBIs so far. I think I'm seeing a little bit of a. Here goes. Morris is off and running. Romano will throw to second. Morris under the tag for a stolen base, his second of the season. I was going to say, I think we're seeing Florence not very many RBIs from their leadoff top of their batting order here, so they're probably suffering some scoring issues, and that might be why their record is not doing so well so far this season. But let's see how they do here against Chicago. The pitch from Hudson to Dunn, and it's a grounder to Kurowski. He'll fire over to 1, and that is going to be a close play. Not in time. Dunn is safe. Morris advances to third. So Dunn with an infield single to third base. Kurowski not able to field that in time to make that throw. We now have runners on the corners for Chicago. That'll bring up Jim Pearsall, who's batting .308. There's a high spot for Florence's lineup. 4 RBIs, 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and this is a big fly ball into left field. Davis retreats near the warning track to make the third out. So 2 left on, 2 hits, no runs, no errors. We go to the bottom of 1. Let's take a look at Chicago's lineup. For Chicago, let's make sure we got 2 red teams, so this is going to be a real fun challenge for me today. Leading off, Ken Griffey. Batting second, Ed Roush. Batting third, Whitey Kurowski. In the cleanup spot, Rico Petrocelli. Batting fifth, Orlando Cepeda. Batting sixth, Augie Galan. Tommy Davis will be batting seventh, Dick McAuliffe eighth, and Johnny Romano will round out the batting order for Chicago. For the Florence defense, we're going to have Adam Dunn in left field, Jim Pearsall in center field, Ken Griffey Jr. in right field. Hal Morris will be on first. Brandon Phillips will be on second. At shortstop will be Barry Larkin. Sal Bando will be at third base. Andy Semenick will be behind the plate, catching for Earl Wilson, who has 4 starts in the season, 22 1/3 innings pitched, 30 hits, 20 earned runs, 3 home runs, 13 walks, 13 strikeouts, and that .806 ERA. Leading off, Ken Griffey with a .253 average so far in this early season of the Field of Dreams. The pitch from Wilson, waiting for the call. It's a grounder to third. Bando picked that up. Fire over to first. Griffey is out. We go on to Ed Roush. Ed Roush with a solid .357 batting average. Doing very well here in the early part. He's going to take this, and he's going to get himself another base hit. This is going to get past the shortstop into left field. So Roush with a single. Standing on first, that'll bring up Whitey Kurowski. Whitey Kurowski is batting a .312 average in the season with 25 RBIs and a man on first. Roush with a big lead. Wilson will look at him from the stretch. When Roush is off and running, Semenick will fire to second. The tag not in time. That is stolen base number 5 for Ed Roush. So now Whitey Kurowski has that runner on second, facing an 0-1 pitch. Here's the big hit in the center field. Pearsall back to the track. He'll make the grab. Roush will tag and head to third. The throw from Pearsall not in time. Roush under that tag at third. He is safe. So Roush now standing on 3, 2 outs for Rico Petrocelli, who comes in with a .239 average and 15 RBIs. Here's the full count to Petrocelli, and he'll take the free walk. So So Wilson, with that run on third, issues the pass to Petrocelli, puts runners on the corners with 2 outs. That'll bring up Orlando Cepeda. He's got a 153 average. Perhaps they pitched around Petrocelli. If they figured if they missed him, they could get to Cepeda, who doesn't have the average that was probably as worrying. This is going to be a grounder to Larkin at short. He'll fire over to second. Phillips will make that grab for the third out. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We're going to the top of 2. Very quickly, I'd like to welcome Night Raven into the stream. Big Clue, Steve, and Bernie. Hope everybody's doing well. And I hope everybody enjoys this stream here and these games. All right, so leading off for Florence is going to be Ken Griffey Jr. So I didn't even realize this when I first called out their names. We got father and son facing each other today. Ken Griffey Jr. for Florence and Ken Griffey over on Chicago. So let's see what Griffey Jr. can do. Coming in with a 169 average from Hudson. And this is going to be to second base. McAuliffe will field this one off the ground. Throws to Cepeda, but McAuliffe had to make that diving catch, got injured, and he's going to be out of the game. So we'll take a minute here to see who the manager brings in to replace McAuliffe at second, while Sal Bando steps up to the plate, who's batting .226 on the season. And Felix Milan will come in to fill in for McAuliffe at second. Here's the pitch to Bando. This is going to be a hard grounder to Karowski. He fires across the diamond. Cepeda will glove that for the second out. That brings up Brandon Phillips. He's batting in the 8th spot for Florence. He's got a 303 average. So doing very well down there in the bottom of that order. Here's the pitch to Phillips. This is going to be a comebacker to the mound. Fire over to 1. That's the third out. So no hits, no runs, no errors. Florence goes down 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of 2. For Chicago, we're going to see Galan, Davis, and Milan. All right, so Augie Galan, who came over from Lehigh in a trade, is batting a solid 320 average. Left-handed hitter facing off against the right-handed pitcher. 2-2 count to Galan. And this is going to be a nice shot up to the wall in right center field. Augie Galan races into second with a stand-up double. That'll bring up Tommy Davis. Tommy Davis batting at .260 average with 11 RBIs. That runner at second. No outs. To pad that stat. And this is going to be a grounder to 1. Morris will pick this up. Wilson will cover the bag. That's the out. Galan will advance to 3. So now Chicago has that runner on 3, the go-ahead runner on 3, while Felix Milan will step up to the plate. He's batting a 188. No RBIs so far this season. He might pick one up now. He did come in for the injured McAuliffe at second base. So let's see what Milan can do. He's only had 16 at-bats so far this season. Here's the pitch to Milan, and this is going to be a grounder into left field past the shortstop. That's going to be an RBI single for Milan. So there he goes, his first RBI in the season. And that puts Chicago up by 1. Johnny Romano comes up. He rounds out the batting order for Chicago, batting a .255 average. Milan standing at first, keeping it close. Doesn't appear to want to steal. Wilson delivers to Romano, and he strikes him out. Big strikeout there for Wilson to give them the second out. They need to get out of this inning, trying to give up no more than that 1 run. And in comes Ken Griffey. We're at the back of the top of the lineup for Chicago. Ken Griffey's 0 for 1. The 0-2 pitch to Griffey. Oh, and a hard shot to left field. This is going to get down for a single. Milano round 2 and on his way to 3. So Griffey with a nice shot in left field for a single. Runners on the corners for Chicago, who's up by 1. And that brings up the hard-hitting Ed Roush, who's already 1 for 1 today. To Roush. And this is going to get into left field for another base hit. That'll drive in Milan. Griffey round second, heads to 3. Runners once again on the corners here for Chicago. Roush drives in that second run of the inning. Florence now trailing by 2, 2 outs. Whitey Karowski up, batting 309. He is 0 for 1 so far in the game, but he's got runners in good positions here to make something happen. And this is going to get into center field. Another RBI single for Karowski. I should say for Chicago, which is Karowski. Roush round second, and he pushes his way to third. So once again, for the third bat in a row, we've got runners on the corners for Chicago. Rico Petrocelli comes in. Now, Rico Petrocelli got walked his last plate appearance. Looking for his first official at bat. Here's the pitch, and this is going to be a grounder to Bando at third, who will fire over to Morris at first for that third out, that much-needed third out for Florence. 5 hits, 3 runs for Chicago. No errors were committed by Florence, but they are trailing 3-0 going in the top of 3. We're going to see batters 9, 1, and 2 for Florence. Batter 9 is going to be Andy Semenick, who's batting 167 through the season. Pitch to Semenick. Second base, Milan feels over to the right to get that, fires over to Cepeda for the first out. Back to the top of the lineup for Florence is Barry Larkin. He's 0 for 1. There's a 0-2 pitch from Hudson. And once again to Milan at second, fires over to Cepeda for the second out. So 2 4-3s in a row. That brings up Ralph Garr, who's also 0 for 1 so far in this game. The pitch to Garr, and this is a high fly ball into shallow center field. Roush will come up, make the play on that for the third out. We go to the bottom of 3. Florence down 1, 2, 3. Still trailing by 3. For Chicago, we're going to see Cepeda, Galan, and Davis. Cepeda's 0 for 1 so far in the game. The pitch, a 1-2 pitch to Cepeda. A liner to Larkin for the first out. That'll bring up Augie Galan. Augie Galan with 1 for 1. Doubled off the wall in right center on his last at bat. Here's the pitch from Wilson. And another shot into right field. Griffey will come up and field that off the ground. Galan with a single. So that's 2 hits now for Augie Galan. That's going to bring up Tommy Davis, who's on an 8-game hitting streak. Looking to keep that alive as he is 0 for 1 already coming in to a second at bat, second appearance. Here's the pitch. This is going to be deep into right field, right to Ken Griffey. Just makes a couple steps back to grab that one for the second out. Augie Galan has to retreat and hold up back at first. Felix Milan comes in, batting 1 for 1, grounded a single. His last at bat. Here's the pitch. This is going to be a hard grounder to Bando. Oh, this is going to be a close play at first. Not in time. Milan is safe. So Milan with an infield single. Once again to third base, who can't field it in time. So Chicago, once with 2 outs, has a runner on first and second. And up comes Johnny Romano. Johnny Romano 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And this is going to be deep into left field. And this ball is high and deep and gone. A 3-run shot for Romano here in the bottom of 3. That's a 347-foot home run. His first home run of the season, a big one. Chicago leads now by 6 here in the bottom of 3. That will take us to the top of the lineup for Chicago. Ken Griffey, who's 1 for 2. The pitch from Wilson, and this is going to be a liner to second base for the third out. Down go Chicago, but not before they score 3 runs off of 3 hits. No errors. For Florence here in the top of 4, we'll see batters 3, 4, 5. That will be Hal Morris leading off. Hal Morris is 1 for 1. He singled to right center. His last at bat. Here's the pitch, and a fantastic play by the pitcher has to come off from the mound. Hudson comes off the mound to field that one. What a fantastic play. Fires over to Cepeda in time to get him out. So Chicago not only doing well offensively, but that was a fantastic defensive play to make the first out here in the top of 4. Adam Dunn 1 for 1. He singled his last at bat in the first. And this is going to be a grounder back to Hudson again on the mound, who fires over to Cepeda for the second out. So Hudson getting a lot of activity, not only pitching, but doing some fielding for himself, trying to make sure he gets this win. Now he's going to face off against Jim Pearsall. Jim Pearsall is 0 for 1. And this is going to be to Griffey in right field, who will come up and field that one for the third out. We go off to the bottom of 4. No runs and no hits, no errors. But Chicago had to do some great fielding to get themselves out of that and keep them from getting any runners. For Chicago, we're going to see batters 2, 3, 4. That's going to be Ed Roush leading off for Chicago. Ed Roush, 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles in his 2 appearances already. Here it comes again. And this is going to be a third hit for Roush. That's the third single into left center field. It went over the second baseman's head, over Larkin's head at second base. It's the third hit of the day. Roush making me regret now that I traded him away. Doing fantastic here in this broadcast. That'll bring Whitey Kurowski, who's 1 for 2. Roush on first. Doesn't appear like he's going to steal. Semenuk out to talk to Wilson. Wilson fires to Kurowski. Excuse me. Wilson makes a fantastic play on the mound at that comebacker. Throws it over to first to get the batter out. Roush does advance to second, but Whitey Kurowski was injured on that play. Trying to hoof it out to first. He got injured. So we'll see who the manager brings in for him. A couple injuries now in this game for Chicago. Rico Petrocelli steps up and digs in at the plate. He is 0 for 1. There is a runner on second. Roush still standing there. 1 out. Here's a grounder to Larkin at short. He's going to fire over to Moore. It's going to be a close play. But he's out. Roush will advance to third on that throw. So that'll bring up Orlando Cepeda, who's 0 for 2. Facing 2 outs. 1-2 pitch. It's going to be a hard shot into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That'll drive in a run. Roush will score. Cepeda on first. With 2 outs, Augie Galan, who's batting 2 for 2 this game. He's got a double and a single so far. Pitch to Galan. This is a high pop-up. Larkin back in the shortstop hole. He'll get under that for the third out. So Chicago gets 1 run off those 2 hits. No errors committed by Florence. No errors committed by either team so far through 4. Boyer will come in. Cleet Boyer will come in to fill in the third base spot. And for Florence, we're going to see Griffey Jr., Bando, and Phillips. Griffey's 0 for 1, and this is going to get in deep into right field. Griffey, his dad, back to the track to make that grab. And that's the first out. That'll bring up Sal Bando. Sal Bando, who's 0 for 1. And he goes down on a big swing. Swing and a miss for Sal Bando. That brings up Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips 0 for 1. He'll take the pitch from Hudson. And this is going to be a grounder to second. Milan will range over to grab that. Throw over to first for the third out. We go to the bottom of 5 as Florence goes down once again. 1, 2, 3. They are still scoreless. Only 2 hits in this game. Chicago, on the other hand, have 11 hits and 7 runs. We're going to see Davis, Milan, and Romano. Tommy Davis, 0 for 2. And that's enough for Florence. They're going to bring in Mike Torres to pitch. Mike Torres, he got 5 games under his belt so far this season. He's pitched 10 2/3 inning. 12 hits, 9 of those hits were earned runs, 4 home runs, 9 walks, 3 strikeouts. He's got an ERA of 7.59 so far this season. Don't think we're going to be expecting too much from him. But he does strike out his first batter that he sees. Davis goes down on strikes. Now he's going to face off against Felix Milan, who's 2 for 2 with two singles in the second and third inning for Milan. The pitch from Torres. Milan, this is going to be a grounder to Morris. He'll pick it up, run it to the bag himself. That's the second out. Now comes Johnny Romano. He hit that 3-run homer his last at bat. And here's the pitch. And this is going to be another deep fly ball into left field. But Dunn will get back to the track near the wall for that one, make the third out. Nothing scored for Chicago as we go to the top of 6. For Florence, we're going to see Andy Semenuk. He'll be followed by batters 1 and 2 at the top of the lineup. Semenuk over 1. The pitch from Hudson. He goes down on strikes. So Hudson, with his second strikeout of the game, now faces off against Barry Larkin, the leadoff batter for Florence, who's 0 for 2. The pitch, it's a grounder. Milan will come over, field that one, throws over to Cepeda for the second out. That brings up Ralph Garr, who's 0 for 2. He'll dig in, trying to get something going here for Florence. Still 1 pitch, and it's a hard grounder to Boyer, who fires over to Cepeda for the third out. Down goes Florence once again, 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of 6, where we're going to see batters 1, 2, 3 for Chicago. That's going to be Ken Griffey leading it off, who's 1 for 3. He got a single in the second. Here's the pitch to Griffey, and this is going to be into right field. His son returns the favor for the last ball that his dad caught from him. So they are trying to equal each other up there, making sure that they neither one gets a hit off of them. And that'll take us to Roush. Roush, 3 for 3. 3 big singles already in this game. Here's the pitch to Roush. And this is a big fly ball in the center. How deep is it going to be? Not deep enough. Pearsall back to the track, to the wall, actually, to grab that one. That's the first non-hit for Roush in the game. Cleet Boyer, who steps in for the injury on third base. He's 0 for, he has not had a plate appearance in this game. In fact, this is his first plate appearance this season. So we'll see how he does here, facing off against Torres. Here's the pitch. And this is going to be a high fly ball to Ken Griffey Jr. in right field. And that'll be the third out. So Chicago got no runs and no hits. There were no errors committed. We go to the top of 7. For Florence, we're going to see Morris, Dunn, and Pearsall. Morris is 1 for 2. 1-1 pitch into center field for a base hit. Morris gets a single. Florence has a base runner on 1 with no outs, trying to get something going here, get a few of these runs back. Adam Dunn, who's 1 for 2. And he singled on the infield back in the first. Pitch to Dunn. And this is a grounder to Cepeda, who'll come up, grab it, carry it back to the bag himself. Oh, then he fires over to 2. What an amazing play by Cepeda. Comes up, feels that ball on the ground, runs it back to 1, fires over to second, and then the tag is put down for the second out. Fantastic play by the Chicago defense to get a double play here in the top of 7 and maintain that big lead. Only 3 hits so far for Florence. All right, from Hudson to Pearsall. And that is a strikeout for the third out. We have the 7th inning stretch. All right, as we head into the bottom of 7, Chicago has 11 hits and 7 runs, no errors, 5 men left on base. For Florence, the Firebirds have 3 hits, no runs, and 2 left on base. For Chicago, we're going to see Petrocelli, Cepeda, and Galan. Petrocelli is 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of this game. And this is going to be in left field, but Dunn takes a few steps back to make that grab for the first out. That'll bring up Orlando Cepeda, who's 1 for 3. Grounded a single his last at bat in the 4th. The 1-2 pitch. And this is going to be a big fly ball into left field. Dunn to the foul line, deep in left field to make that grab for the second out. That'll bring up Augie Galan, who's 2 for 3 this game. Another batter for Chicago who's doing very well. Torres winds and delivers. And it's a grounder to Larkin at short. He fires over to Morris. That'll be in time for the third out. We go to the top of 8. For Florence Firebirds, we're going to see Griffey Jr., Bando, and Phillips. Now, Jr. is 0 for 2 in this game, so he's looking for his first hit. Here's the pitch, and this is going to be it. It's going to, oh, no, it's a liner. Roush makes a fantastic grab there. Shoestring catch for Roush in center field to save that from being a base hit for Ken Griffey Jr. That brings up Sal Bando, who's 0 for 2. Pitch to Bando, and this is going to be a fly ball into shallow center. Roush will come up, make that grab. So Roush with 2 outs here in the top of 8. We'll see Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips 0 for 2. Here's the pitch, the 1-0 pitch. This will be a grounder down the line to Boyer at third. He fires over to Cepeda in time for the third out. We go to the bottom of 8. We're going to see batters 7, 8, 9 for Chicago. Tommy Davis will lead it off. He's 0 for 3 so far. Here's the pitch to Davis. This is going to be fly ball into center field. Pearsall will come up, make the grab. That'll be the first out. We go to batter number 8 in the lineup for Chicago, Felix Milan, but he's 2 for 3. For the 8th batter in the lineup, he's faring very well so far today. And this is going to be a hard grounder to Bando at third, over to Morris at first. That's the second out. That'll bring up Johnny Romano, the catcher for Chicago. He's 1 for 3. He's also got 3 RBIs because he hit that 3-run homer back in the 3rd. Pitch, and Romano gets walked. So he gets walked as we go to the top of the lineup now for Chicago. That's going to be Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey, 1 for 4. That runner on first, facing 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Griffey. Rounded to Bando at third again, over to first. It's going to be close. Not in time. That's at least the 3rd time we've seen a hit, an infield hit to the third baseman who can't field it and make the throw in time for a single. So Ken Griffey with his 2nd hit of the day. Roush, who's got 3 singles, 3 for 4, comes up facing 2 outs and runners on first and second. And Roush continue his hit. And it looks like he can, because that is gone. A huge home run for Ed Roush. 346 feet into right center field. I'm not going to go over the math again, how that 346er got over that 385 spot, but we will go with it. Either way, it was 3 RBIs for Roush. Chicago now leading 10-0 here in the bottom of 8. And this is getting about as ugly for Florence as it can get. As Cleet Boyer steps up. He's only got 1 at bat in this season. And he didn't, it was 0 for 1. He flied to deep right. Here's the pitch to Boyer. And this is going to be his first base hit of the season. Gets into center field. Pearsall has to field it on the bounce. So Boyer with his first hit of the year. He's at first. 2 outs for Chicago. Rico Petrocelli steps up. He's 0 for 3 in the game. And this is going to be into left field for a double. And that Boyer will round third and come all the way home. So an RBI double for Rico Petrocelli, his first hit of the game. So David must be doing cartwheels right now with the way his team's performing in this game. Puts Petrocelli on second. Cepeda facing those 2 outs. Steps in. 1 for 4 today. Semenic out to talk to Torres as if that's going to do anything. And Cepeda gets walked. The only way we're going to calm down Torres and get him is out of the game and maybe into a ice bath. But we'll see what the manager does here as he faces off against Augie Galan, and he walks another batter. So now Torres walks the bases loaded with 2 outs to face off against Tommy Davis. Can this game get any uglier here in the bottom of 8? The answer to that is no, because Morris is going to feel that grounder, carry it back to the bag himself for the 3rd out, get them out of that inning. Bases were loaded. All those men left on base, but we go to the top of 9 with Florence trailing 11-0. Only 3 hits for Florence. Not much in the highlight reel for that team tonight. Tim Hudson still on the mound. 92 pitches so far in the game. He's got 3 strikeouts, and no walks. Semenic, and he strikes him out. So there's the 4th strikeout for Tim Hudson, as he'll now face off against the top of the lineup for Florence. That'll be Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin 0 for 3. And they're going to bring in Reggie Sanders to pinch hit. And we're not going to be able to go over his stats because they're going to pitch that immediately. But Sanders goes down. So that's 2 big strikeouts in a row here in the top of 9. Hudson saying, I'm going home. We're going to get these guys out quickly. That's his 5th strikeout of the game now to face off against designated hitter Ralph Garr, who's 0 for 3. From Hudson, it's a 1-2 pitch. Oh, and this is going to get down into right center field for a base hit. Griffey will come over and pick it up. Gets it back in to hold Garr at 1. But that's only the 4th hit for Florence. Probably a little too late here with 2 outs at the top of 9. Hal Morris has been the one bright spot. He's got 2 of those 4 hits himself. We'll take a quick look. He singled to right center in the 1st. He grounded to the pitcher in the 4th, and then lined a single to center in the 7th. So half of the offense has come from Morris. Pitch to Morris. It's going to be a dribbler back to Milan at second. He'll field it. Throw over to first. That's the 3rd out. And mercifully, the game ends. Red Shirts 11, Florence 0. Let's take a quick look at the box score. So for Florence, there's not really many highlights. Again, Morris 2 for 4. And yeah, that's about it. But let's go over for Chicago. Roush 4 for 5. He hit that home run, 3-run home run. Romano 1 for 3, but he also hit a 3-run home run. So excellent batting. Augie Galan went 2 for 4. Excellent batting for Chicago tonight. Hudson with the win, went 9 full innings, only allowed 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs. So excellent performance by Hudson. And let's take a quick look here. For the MVP, obviously Tim Hudson, who pitched extremely well. I'm looking for the injury. McAuliffe will be injured. He's out till June 10th. So McAuliffe is out for over a month for Chicago. Kurowski is out for a couple of weeks as well. He's out till May 17th. So Chicago with 2 big injuries in this game. Huge win for Chicago and a couple of losses there. But we'll see how they do going forward. I'm sure they're not going to want to lose those 2 players, though, for that length of time. All right, our next game is going to be Lancaster at Amazing. Lancaster comes into this game 14-8, facing off against Amazing, who's 13-12. Lancaster leads the Fire Division. Amazing is 6 games behind Hadley Lake in 3rd place in their division. All right, and off we go. All right, so we're in Veterans Stadium for this game, where Lancaster visits Amazing. Lancaster has won 7 straight coming into this game, and they've won 8 of their last 10, so they're doing very well there. Dave McNally takes the mound for Lancaster. He's got 2 starts on the year. He is 1 win, no losses with an ERA of 1.46, looking really good. It's his first start against the Amazing Kitsunes. He'll be opposed by Larry Christensen. He's got 5 starts so far this year. He's 1-3 with an ERA of 6.32. This is his first start against Lancaster. It's 70 degrees, and we have light rain. Light rain, but the winds are still. Let's take a look real quick at the lineup for Lancaster. Leading off will be Paul Blair. Batting second, Steve Garvey. Batting third, Reggie Smith. Batting fourth, Joe Mauer. In the 5th spot, Justin Morneau. In the 6th spot, Dusty Baker. Brooks Robinson will be batting 7th. Mark Belanger will be batting 8th. And Davey Johnson will round out the lineup for Lancaster. On defense for the Amazing Kitsunes, we have Greg Luzinski in left field. Rick Monday in center field. Bake McBride in right field. Okay, first baseman Ryan Howard, Chase Utley at second, Jimmy Rollins at shortstop, Mike Schmidt at third, Bob Boone will be behind the plate catching, and on the mound, Larry Christensen. This is he's got 5 games started so far this season, 31 1/3 innings, 33 hits, 7 home runs, 22 earned runs out of those 33 hits, 18 walks, 20 strikeouts, 6.32 ERA. And if you're seeing a little bit of a, if my words are getting jumbled here, but you notice a lot of Phillies on this team. That is Yoko's favorite team. So he picks up all the Phillies he can get for his team. All right, so Christensen's going to face off against Paul Blair. Paul Blair coming in with a 2.22 this season. Here's the pitch, and this is going to be a high fly ball to Luzinski in left field. He's under that for the first out. Steve Garvey will be batting next. Steve Garvey batting at 2.11. Pitch from Christensen, and this again is in left field. Luzinski back to the corner near the wall to make that grab for the second out. And that brings up Reggie Smith. Reggie Smith batting 230 this season. Here's the pitch to Smith, and he goes down on strike. So a good start there for the Amazing Kitsunes as Lancaster goes down 1-2-3. Let's take a look at the batting order for the Amazing Kitsunes. Leading off, shortstop Jimmy Rollins. Batting second, Rick Monday. Batting third, Bob Boone. Batting fourth, Mike Schmidt. And as Yoko likes to say, Schmidt happens. Chase Utley will be batting 5th. Greg Luzinski batting 6th. Darren Dalton batting 7th. Ryan Howard will be batting 8th. And rounding out the batting order for the Kitsunes, Bake McBride. On the Lancaster defense, we've got Dusty Baker in left field, Paul Blair in center field, Reggie Smith in right field. Steve Garvey will be on first base, Davey Johnson at second. Mark Belanger will be the shortstop, Brooks Robinson at third. Joe Mauer will be catching tonight, and he'll be catching for Dave McNally. Dave McNally's got 2 starts so far this season. He's pitched 12 1/3, 9 hits, only 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, and a 1.46 ERA. So he's been looking good this season. We'll see how he continues to do here as he faces off against Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy Rollins batting 233 coming into the game. Pitch to Rollins, and this is going to be a base hit right off the bat. Facing that, it was an 0-2 pitch, and he drove that into right field. Johnson probably could have made a play on it, unable to get to it. They won't call it an error. They're going to call it a hit. But if Johnson had gotten to that, it may not have been one. So Rollins on first as Rick Monday comes up to bat. Rick Monday batting 250, no RBIs. He's only got 16 at-bats so far this season. Rollins with a big lead there at first. Got a lefty on the mound, so we'll see how that goes when he's trying to steal from second. And McNally fires over to first, but Rollins is back in time. Now being a little bit more conservative off first base. The pitch to Monday, and this is a high fly ball in the right field. Smith underneath that one for the first out. Rollins will hold at first. Bob Boone batting 288 and 13 RBIs this season. He's also got 5 home runs already in April. He's digging in now, waiting for the pitch from McNally. Oh, and Rollins is off. Oh, it was a hit and run. So Boone, it hits. Belanger picked that up. He can't get it to second in time. He has to fire to first for the out. So they get the batter, but Rollins is able to advance to second. That's the second out now for Amazings. As Mike Schmidt comes up. Mike Schmidt only batting on 188 so far this season. 16 RBIs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And it's a grounder to shortstop. Belanger will pick that up. Fire over to Steve Garvey. He'll glove it for the third out. So 1 hit for the Kitsoons, but no runs. And no errors committed by Lancaster. We go to the top of 2. We're going to see Maurer, Morneau, and Baker. Joe Maurer, the catcher for the Lancaster Fighting Amish, comes in at 292 average already this season. Christensen will line deliver. It's a full count. This is going to be high fly ball into right field. McBride really doesn't even have to move for that one. He'll make the first out. Justin Morneau batting 273. He now steps in. Here's a 1-1 pitch. This is going to get down into right field. Morneau with a single. McBride will come up and field that one. Gets it in to hold him at 1. But now Dusty Baker steps in. He's batting 250 with 9 RBIs. Morneau at first, not taking much of a lead. Here's the pitch to Baker. It's another full count. This is going to be deep into right field. McBride will take a couple steps back, grab that one. Morneau retreats back to first. That's the second out. And we go to Brooks Robinson, who's batting 192 this season. Batting in the 7th spot. Morneau still on first, not taking a big lead. But it looks like maybe the hit and run was off. This is going to be a hard grounder into right center field to the wall. So Morneau is going to round all the bases to make it home. Brooks Robinson with an easy stand-up double off of that hit. Nice RBI double for Brooks Robinson. That would be his 6th double of the season. That'll bring up Mark Bellinger. He's batting 192. Belanger. His name's pronounced about 6 different ways if you go into our Discord chat. He's going to face off against Larry Christensen now. He digs in, and here's a grounder to Rollins. It's going to be close at first base. Oh, in time, but wow, that was a close bang-bang play for the third out. So 1 run scored off those 2 hits for Lancaster, who now leads the Amazing Kitsoons by 1 going into the bottom of 2. We will see Chase Utley lead off for the Kitsoons. Chase Utley comes in with a 204 average. The wind and deliver from McNally strikes Utley out. Hits the inside corner, fools him for the first out. Greg Luzinski batting 289 this season. He digs in, and he goes down on strikes. A big swing and a miss there for Luzinski. So McNally now strikes out 2 in a row, and he's going to face off against Darren Dalton, who's batting 154 this season. Here's the pitch for McNally. And it's a foul ball. So the 0-1 pitch. And high fly ball in center field. Blair ranges to his right. Gets under it, makes the grab for the third out. No hits, no runs, no errors. We go to the top of 3. We're going to see batters 9, 1, and 2 for Lancaster. Batter 9 is going to be Davey Johnson, the second baseman, batting 304 average this season. Pretty high average for that last batter of that lineup. Delivery to Johnson, and he gets a hit into left field. So Johnson with his first hit, his batting average just went up a little bit. doing real well this season. We go to the top of the lineup now for Lancaster. That's going to be Paul Blair, who's 0 for 1 so far in the game. Runner at first, not taking a big lead. He's going to bunt, sack bunt to move the runner to second. Blair is out on that bunt, but he does what he needed to do, or what the manager wanted him to do, and that's get that runner to 2. And that brings up Steve Garvey, who's 0 for 1. 1 out. 0-2 pitch, and this is going to be a high, deep fly ball into left center. Monday's going to run to the wall to grab that. Johnson will tag and advance to third. And that brings up Reggie Smith, who's 0 for 1. That runner on 3. Reggie Smith with 2 outs. Christensen winds and delivers, and he strikes him out to end the inning. So that runner on third will be just stranded there. We're going to go to the bottom of 3. Lancaster still leading Amazing 1-0. For the Amazing Kitsunes, we're going to see batters 8, 9, and 1. Batter 8 is Ryan Howard, who's batting 191 average this season. Does have 3 home runs so far. And this is a big fly ball into the corner of right field. Smith to the corner to make the grab for the first out. Bake McBride. He's coming in now, batting 255. Here's the pitch from McNally, and he strikes him out. So two outs now for the Kitsunes. And we go back to the top of their lineup, and that's Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy Rollins led off the game, or I should say led off the bottom half of the first inning for the Kitsunes with a single. Only 2 Rollins, and this is going to be in the shallow left field. Baker has to run hard up to get that one, but he does. That's the third out. We go to the top of 4. No runs, no hits, and no errors committed. For Lancaster, Maurer, Morneau, and Baker. Maurer 0 for 1. Wind and deliver from Christensen. This is going to be a high fly ball in left field. Lazinski to his left. Gets under that. That's the first out. Justin Morneau is 1 for 1 in the game. Off the first pitch, and it's going to be a liner to Utley, who makes the grab for the second out. Dusty Baker, he's 0 for 1 so far in the game. It's the pitch to Baker, and another liner to Rollins, who has to jump up to grab that one. Looked like it was going to get over his head, but Jimmy Rollins with a beautiful jump grab to get that third out. As we go to the bottom of 4, Lancaster still leading Kitsunes 1-0. For the Kitsunes, we're going to see Monday, Boone, and Schmidt. Monday, looking for his first hit of the game. He goes down on strikes instead, and that brings up Bob Boone. Bob Boone, 0 for 1. McNally on the mound so far with 4 strikeouts, no walks. Winds and delivers to Boone. It's a grounder to Robinson at third. He fires across the diamond to Garvey at first, and that's the second out. Mike Schmidt. And if the Kitsunes ever needed Schmidt to happen, it's now. 0 for 1 in the game, and he goes down on strikes. So once again, the Kitsunes down 1-2-3 as we go to the top of 5. And we're going to see Robinson, Bellinger, and Johnson. Brooks Robinson, who had a big hit, doubled off the wall his last at bat. Here's the pitch to Robinson, and it's a grounder to Rollins at short. He fires over to 1 for the first out. Mark Bellinger. You know, I'm going to pronounce his name 18 different ways myself because I've heard it pronounced so many different ways in the Discord. So I've got them all ringing through my head right now. He comes in 0 for 1 in the game. And, a shot into left center field. That's going to get over Rollins' head at short for a single. In strolls Davey Johnson, who's the last batter lineup with a 319 average. He got a single his last at bat. He's also got just 5 RBIs on the season, but 2 home runs. He's going to take the pitch, and Belanger's off. This is a hit and run was on. This is going to get to the corner in left field. Luzinski will be able to get to that in time. So Mark Belanger will get back to first. That'll be 2 outs now for Paul Blair, who's 0 for 1 in the game. Christensen, who's got 2 strikeouts so far in the game and no walks. 67 pitches already here in the bottom of 4. He delivers to Blair. Monday will come up into center, run hard into center, short center field to catch that one for the 3rd out. We go to the bottom. I'm sorry, that was the top of 5. I said the bottom of 4. We go to the bottom of 5 now, where we're going to see Chase Utley, Luzinski, and Dalton. Chase Utley 0 for 1.
Ball 4.
And he gets the free pass from McNally. So that's the first walk we've seen from McNally. Utley standing on first. Luzinski strolls in, digs in. Utley taking a nice lead off of first. But that left-handed pitcher is going to try and keep him back. We're going to see. And he does fire over to 1. And he gets him. Garvey makes the tag in time. Utley is out too far. He caught him leaning too far off of first, not able to get back in time. What a huge mistake for the Amazing Kitsoons, who need that run. Now have no base runners as Luzinski waits for the first pitch from McNally. And we have a rain delay. So we're going to see how long this rain delay stands. All right, 21 minutes. We're ready to go. McNally's still looking strong on the mound. He's going to stay there. Luzinski's back up to bat. Here's the pitch. And this is going to be a hard liner into left field. Baker will run over and grab that one for the 2nd out. Darren Dalton, 0 for 1 in the game after the rain delay.
Ball 4.
And he'll get walked by McNally. That's a 2nd walk from McNally, who was doing well until just before the rain delay, who walked Utley. Now here after the rain delay, walks Dalton. Only 2 walks of the game so far for McNally. As he faces off against Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard, 0 for 1. Dalton on 1. There goes Dalton. And this is going to go back to the mound. McNally fields that one, fires over to 1 for the 3rd out. We go to the top of 6. No runs and no hits. For Lancaster, Fighting Amish, Garvey, Smith, and Maurer. Garvey is 0 for 2. Christensen with 70 pitches already in the game. This is fly ball into center field. Monday to his left. Gets under that one for the 1st out. Reggie Smith 0 for 2 in the game. Christensen delivers, and this is going to get into right field for a base hit. A single past second baseman Chase Utley for Smith. He stands on first as Joe Maurer comes up. Joe Maurer 0 for 2. Christensen has 2 strikeouts, no walks, 77 pitches so far in the game. He delivers to Maurer. Maurer with a bounder to Schmidt. Schmidt will throw over to Howard. It's going to be close play. Maurer not in time. Maurer makes it. The throw from Schmidt not in time. So Lancaster has runners on first and second with only 1 out. Maurer was a big threat to steal, but with Smith standing in front of him, he's probably not going anywhere. Justin Morneau is 1 for 2. He's going to take the pitch. Oh, it's a wild pitch. Past Boone. He's not able to corral it. Both runners will advance. So now Lancaster with runners on 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out. Morneau 1 for 2. He's facing the 1-2 pitch from Christensen. High fly ball into right field. McBride doesn't really have to move. He'll grab that one. Smith is going to tag. McBride is not able to throw that one home. The run scores. Lancaster now leads by 2. Maurer remains at 2nd. Dusty Baker 0 for 2. Pitch. And Baker goes down on strikes for the 3rd out. We go to the bottom of 6, where the Kitsoons now trail Lancaster 2-0. We'll see batters 9, 1, and 2 for the Amazing Kitsunes. Bake McBride will lead off this inning, this half of the inning. From McNally. Big fly ball into right field. Smith will come up, make the grab on that one for the first out. Jimmy Rollins, the top of the lineup for the Amazing Kitsunes. Pitch to Rollins. Grounder to Johnson at second. He fires over to Steve Garvey at first. He'll glove it for the second out. That brings up Rick Monday, who hasn't gotten a hit since last Tuesday. Looking for his first in the game. Here's the pitch. Grounder to Robinson at third. It's going to be another close play at first. Not in time. So there's Monday's first hit of the game. He's now standing on first with 2 outs as Bob Boone comes up to hit. Monday taking another big lead. Needs to be careful. We've already seen McNally pick off one runner who's took a big lead. And, a hard shot in left field. This is going to get to the wall. Monday's going to round all the way around third to get home. Boone with an easy, he strolls into second. If he walked into second with that shot, an RBI double for Boone cuts that lead in half. Boone now standing on second with Mike Schmidt, the big hitting Mike Schmidt, who's got 5 home runs already this season. He could easily bust this game open and take the lead with one shot. This is not going to be that shot, but it is going to get down into left center field to the wall. So Schmidt strolls into second. He gets an RBI double. And just like that, with 2 outs, the game is all tied up. That brings Chase Utley to the plate. With that runner on second and facing 2 outs, Chase Utley 0 for 1 in the game. Oh, McNally, this is going to be a big fly ball in right field. Oh, this is going to be, all the way to the wall in the corner for the catch. Wow, what a fantastic play. That is going to be the third out. That will end the inning. But the Kitsunes were able to tie that game up here in the bottom of 6. We go off to the top of 7. We're going to see batters 7, 8, and 9. Brooks Robinson, who's 1 for 2. And this is going to be a liner into right field. McBride will grab that one for the first out. Mark B steps up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 already. First pitch from Christensen is going to be a hard shot into center field over second base. That's going to get down for a single. That brings up Bobby Boone. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Bobby Boone's behind the plate catching. He's definitely not up. That's going to bring up Davey Johnson, who's 1 for 2. Runner on first. 1 out. Lancaster trying to get their run back. High fly ball deep in this. Oh, and that's, I really didn't even have to move to catch that one. That's going to be the second out. Runner stays on first. That brings up Paul Blair, who's 0 for 2. He's the top of the lineup for Lancaster. And the pitch to Blair. And it was called a balk. Christensen balked. So Mark Belanger will move to second. Blair will remain at the plate batting. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And this is going to be into center field. Liner to Monday in center field for the catch. We go to the 7th inning stretch. All right, as we come back from the 7th inning stretch, the Lancaster Fighting Amish with 7 hits and 2 runs, 5 left on base. The Amazing Kitsunes, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 left on base. No errors have been committed by either team as we go into the bottom of 7. For the Amazing Kitsunes, we're going to see Luzinski, Dalton, and Howard all make plate appearances in this half of the inning. The winds are still calm. However, more rain is threatening. 74 degrees. Here's the pitch to Lazinski. And a fly ball. This is going to be into foul territory near third baseline. Robinson makes a hard run to get to that, and he does in time. What a great play there by Brooks Robinson to get to that foul ball for the first out. Darren Dalton now strides in. He's 0 for 1. From McNally. He strikes him out. The sixth strikeout for Dave McNally on the mound. Walked 2, struck out 6. 101 pitches so far here in the bottom of 7 for McNally. See how much longer he goes as he fires to Howard and strikes out Howard. So down go the Kitsunes. 1, 2, 3. And we go off to the top of 8, all knotted up at 2. For the Fighting Amish, we're going to see Garvey, Smith, and Maurer. Steve Garvey's 0 for 3. For his first hit of the game, this is going to be a grounder to Howard, who picks this up, carries it to the bag himself. That's a 3 unassisted for the first out. Reggie Smith, 1 for 3. Grounded a single in the 6th. The 1-2 pitch, and he goes down on strike. So Christensen wants to get a couple of strikeouts if he can. That's his 4th of the game. Still no walks allowed by Christensen. He's got 106 pitches so far in the game. And that's it. Even with that strikeout, and it looked like he was still good to go. The rain delay might have tired him up a little bit. They're going to bring in Ryan Madsen to pitch here for the Amazing Kitsunes. Let's take a look at Madsen's stats. He's got 10 games so far this season, 14 full innings, 10 hits, only 1 earned run, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. He's got a 0.64 ERA. So they're bringing in the right pitcher in this situation to try and keep Lancaster from getting any more hits. He's going to, his first batter facing off against is going to be Joe Maurer, who's 1 for 3. But he gives up a hit. Maurer with a hard shot into right field. So Maurer gets a single with 2 outs. And that brings up Justin Morneau, who's 1 for 2. Madison delivers to Morneau, and he strikes him out to end the inning. So 1 hit, but no runs for Lancaster as we go to the bottom of 8. For the Kitsunes, we're going to see batter number 9, and then we're going to go to 1 and 2. That's going to be Bake McBride, who has no hits in the game. He's 0 for 2. McNally's still in. And this is going to be a high fly ball into center field. Blair goes to his left. He'll make the grab. So McNally, even after that rain delay, still pitching, still on the mound, not tired yet, was able to keep warm and still keep going. He'll now face off against the top of the lineup, Jimmy Rollins, who's 1 for 3. Pitch to Rollins. It's a grounder to Garvey. Garvey picked this one up, carries it to the bag himself. That's the second out. Rick Monday, who got himself a hit his last at bat. Infield single. And, well, they're going to pull Monday, and they're going to bring in Lenny Dykstra to pinch hit for the Kitsunes. So the pitch to Dykstra, and a liner to Johnson at second for the third out. So down go the Kitsunes, 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the 9. We go to the top of the 9th, where we'll see Baker, Robinson, and Belanger for Lancaster. Baker 0 for 3. Madsen came in to relieve last inning. He's still there. Faces off against Baker. It's going to be a high fly ball into foul territory around down the first base stands, but that gets into the stands. Baker will get another shot at it. He's facing the 1-2 pitch.
Strike 3.
But he goes down on strikes. Big strikeout there for Madsen. That's the first out. And that brings up Brooks Robinson, who's 1 for 3. Doubled off the wall back in the second inning. Pitch to Robinson, and this is going to be another Base hit over Rollins at shortstop into left center field for a single. So with one out, Lancaster has the go-ahead run on first as Mark Belanger comes up, who's batting 2 for 3. He's having a good day. And they're going to bring in Brad Lidge to pitch. Let's take a look at him. Yeah, we know he's now pitching. 7 games, 7 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 9 walks, 6 strikeouts, 4.91 ERA. So, an interesting call to this pitcher after they just brought in the last pitcher who seemed like he could have gone a little bit longer and also having a better season. We'll see how this goes. Robinson's off. It's a hit and run. Utley fires to first off the ground to get the out, but Robinson makes it to second. So 2 outs now for Lancaster. Runner on second. We're going to see Davey Johnson. It's the 9th batter of their lineup, but Davey Johnson is batting a solid 306 this season. 1 for 3 in this game. He lined a single way back in the 3rd, and this is going to be just a grounder, and this is going to be a throw over to first. Howard for the 3rd out. We go to the bottom of 9. The Kitsunes just need 1 run to end this because they're the home team. Boone, Schmidt, and Utley all up for Amazing Kitsunes. So they've got the hitters up in the lineup to do what they need to do. Bob Boone 1 for 3. McNally still on the mound, not going anywhere anytime soon. It looks like this is going to get down into left field. Baker off the bounce. Boone with a single. So that winning run is now on first base with no outs as Mike Schmidt comes up. Mike Schmidt only batting a 192 this season. He's got 2 game-winning RBIs so far in the season. He's grounded to short, struck out, and doubled off the wall. So let's see what he can do here with that winning run on first. Maurer out to talk to McNally. Here's the delivery. This is going to get into center field for a hit. Boone will have to stick to 2. He cannot get to 3. So now, runners on first and second with no outs. Chase Utley up to bat. Chase Utley is 0 for 2. He struck out and flied to deep down the right field line. He's then also been walked so far in this game. So with no outs and 2 runners on, and Utley could definitely get something going here. Maurer once again out to talk to McNally. McNally delivers to Utley and walks him. So just like that, the bases are loaded with no outs. Only 1 run needed to win this game and end it. As Greg Luzinski, all he needs is a big sac fly to end this game. He is 0 for 3 in the game. He has 1 game-winning RBI this season. He struck out in the 2nd, lined to left in the 5th, and he popped to 3rd in the 7th. As Steve says, this is a nail-biter. If Lancaster wants anything, they want another pop up to 3rd to make sure it's not deep enough for anybody to score, but no outs, bases loaded. This is going to be a good one here. Maurer once again out to talk to McNally. Here's the pitch to Lazinski, and he's going to walk in the winning run. So Lancaster, who played a fantastic game, McNally, who pitched a fantastic game, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, but he walks in the winning run, the walk-off run. Wow, what a lousy way to lose a game as the Kitsunes beat the Lancaster Fighting Amish 3-2. Unfortunately, McNally lost the fight in that one. So for Lancaster, they had 9 hits and 2 runs, no errors. Amazing Kitsunes had 6 hits, 3 runs, no errors. For Lancaster, Maurer went 2 for 4. Robinson went 2 for 4. And my favorite name, Mark Belanger, went 2 for 4. Over on the Amazing Kitsunes, Boone went 2 for 4, also 2 runs. Schmidt, and we know Yoko loves when Schmidt happens, went 2 for 4. The rest of that lineup after Schmidt did absolutely nothing. So all 6 hits came from the top 4 batters off of Amazing's lineup. McNally went 8 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, but lost that game with that walk-off run. Christensen went 7 2/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Madsen then came in, pitched 2/3. He gave up 2 hits, but no runs, 2 strikeouts. Lidge came in and gets the win, his 3rd of the season, 2/3 of an inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. The game MVP goes to Larry Christensen, who did a good job on the mound. No doubt about that. Actually, I think the Amazing Kitsunes could probably give their MVP award to McNally, who walked in that last run to give them the win. So let's take a quick look. Oh, we're going to leave it there, and I will zip this file up and pass this off to the next broadcaster. Hopefully, we'll have another broadcaster go tonight. Most of the games that we're going to play is right here because this gets us through all of the teams that we want to highlight, I believe. This will, and then we could, like I said, we can do more, and of course, we'd love to see do more, and get through this week coming up. I will definitely do another broadcast tomorrow sometime. I'll announce that as soon as I figure out the time. And know, I think Bernie, I know for a fact Bernie wants to go tomorrow, Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So tune in for those games. We'll see if somebody can go tonight. I will definitely go again tomorrow and try and get in as many games as we need to try and make sure we get through this first, all these games so that we can make sure that we can get on the rest of the week to finish out the month of May. As we end today, Chico's still leads the win division by 3.5. Dallas up by half a game over Berlin and Manchester. Hadley Lake up 5.5 over Michigan and the Amazing Kitsunes, who won that game to bring them a little bit closer. Canada now gets a half lead over Lancaster. Lancaster was tied, so they're waiting to see what happens against Edmonton, Canada, trying to keep that race closer. Chicago only won 1.5 games back after their win. I'm sure they're going to be very interested in that Edmonton, Canada game as well. And I really wish I had time to run it because that would be a fantastic game to see, as these people, including Bernie, I know, who's 2.5 games back, really wanting to see what the outcome of that game is going to be. Unfortunately, I do not have the time to run that game. So I want to thank everybody. Let's see. Carlos is in. Thank you. Dwayne, I didn't see you come in. Thank you, Dwayne. Bernie, I appreciate that, Dwayne. Really do. Bernie, appreciate that. Raven, of course, was here to watch his team. I'm sure he was hoping for better. Big Clue, thank you. Steve in the park, thank you very much, Steve. Who am I missing? Anybody missing? David Lando came by. I don't know how long he was here. Hopefully, he got to watch at least most of his game. Night Raven was the first one in the park. He was excited to watch his team play. Thanks, everybody that came in. And I will definitely see you soon and look forward to more of the Field of Dreams. It's fantastic second season so far. I know we got a lot of excited people. Let's keep it going. Let's keep that excitement as high as we can through this season. Thanks, everybody, and I'll talk to you all soon.